find out more about the upcoming shows?
Yes, you can. You're going to be able to find the podcast link up on my website shortly, bravehealer.com. Thanks for the reminder. I think that's the only link I haven't put up there yet, is the actual link to the podcast. It's on my Facebook page, you guys. Brave Healer by Laura on Facebook, and Brave Healing, Words That Change the World, okay? That next show is April 25th, Wednesday, April 25th at noon Eastern Standard Time. And it's really my mission to start a revolution of authentic, courageous, brave healers who are sharing their stories with the world and serving more of the people they were born to serve by being brave and sharing those stories. Something magical happens when you become out loud with your story, whether that's writing it or speaking it, sharing it in any fashion. It's going to touch somebody else. There is healing inside of both the writing and speaking and the listening of whoever is, reading or hearing your words. There's healing that happens on both ends of that. And I am called to help other healers write and speak these words that heal themselves and the world right now. So my guests are going to be those people. They're going to be already stepping out into the world, sharing their stories. They're going to be raw and real and vulnerable with you, and they're going to give you some tips and action steps to help you be brave and move through your own healing journey. So I cannot wait for that next show. And yeah, I'm just going to spill the beans right now. It's going to be with it's going to be with Anna and Sherry, who are the women of founders of the Wellness Universe. And if you all haven't gone over to thewellnessuniverse.com, please go over there and check out the amazing work that they're doing in the world. They're also on Facebook, and they have some amazing groups on Facebook where you can get a taste of their work as well. But I'm telling you, these are two amazing, inspirational women, and you're not going to want to miss hearing what they are up to. So I cannot wait to interview them a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, and that is just an absolutely huge, high-profile first couple of guests, and you're going to have them both together on that show.
They'll be there together.
So it's Can't Miss Radio, and you're going to want to bookmark that and put it on your calendar. As Laura said, you can find it on all of her web pages, but you can also find out about Laura's shows at facebook.com/Coach on Fire Radio. And learn more about all the other hosts we have on the Coach on Fire Radio Network as well. 20 awesome coaches in just about every niche you can imagine, delivering transformational content on a daily basis. And again, that's facebook.com/Coach on Fire Radio. And we are interviewing the brilliant Coach on Fire Radio host, Laura DeFranco, and we're getting close to wrapping it up. She's already kind of spilled the beans on her awesome show in just 2 weeks at 12 Eastern, and I can't wait to listen to that. But Laura, let's, before we wrap, get to know you a little bit as a person. Now, you won't know what kind of questions are coming here, and some of them will be fun and make you laugh, and others are just to kind of entertain and see what kind of answers we get. So it's my favorite part of the show, and what do you say we get started here? But let's first, you're a California native, but you're living in Maryland, and you have just an absolutely awesome family with 2 teenagers that are doing amazing things already. Why don't you be a proud mom for a moment and tell me a little bit about your kids?
Oh my, yes, I am the total proud mom. My 18-year-old son just turned 18, and he is going to be attending University of Maryland in the fall. Really, really exciting year watching that whole process go down and waiting for the acceptances, and it's fun to brag about him. He is an amazing, intelligent, funny, handsome guy, if I do say so myself. And I really can't wait to sort of launch him into the world and see what he does in the world. He is an extremely smart and creative soul. And so you know how it is watching your kids. You know, you're not really sure at what's going to happen, and you can't wait to see what's going to happen. So that's how I feel about him. But my daughter is 15, going on 25, and she is also pretty amazing herself. She's a freshman in high school, and she is on a competitive cheerleading team through a local gym called Shockwave All-Stars. And Danielle and her team will be competing at a world's level this end of April, actually this month, down in Orlando. So she's been really working hard at the gymnastic skills and the dance skills and the teamwork skills that it takes to get a team from, just getting together to actually competing at a world's level. She's an amazing athlete, and she is smart and funny and sensitive, and told me the other day that she wants to be a plastic surgeon. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, I'm a lucky duck.
Start saving money, Mom.
No kidding.
Saving money to be a plastic surgeon. I don't,
Yeah.
take a lot of school. 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school.
Please don't remind me.
Well, that's amazing. And yeah, I have watched some of that competitive cheerleading, in the past. And anyone that says that they are not disciplined and athletes in the traditional sense does not know what they are talking about, because what they do and how they fly around is simply amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely incredible. So that's great. Proud mom, and living back there in Bethesda, Maryland. It looks, from what I know a little bit about you, that you love the outdoors. So what are some of your outdoor passions that you like to do, Laura?
Oh yeah, gosh, the nature connection for me is really sort of meditative, and I love being in all kinds of nature. I really love to hike. I love to be out on the beach. I love to be hiking in the woods. The connection with that place of stillness inside of me happens almost instantaneously when I'm outside, out in nature. And it's also been one of the most magical inspirations for my writing, which I know there are going to be a lot of people nodding their heads about that. There's something that happens when you get into the energy of the nature around you, and we're so sort of stuck on our screens these days, right? More than ever right now. So I find it necessary to, get my butt outside the door. I'm a runner. And so, I use my running, my walking, my hiking outside kind of as that way to connect. And that's been really nice. We've enjoyed a lot of trips to the beach, and being on the East Coast, you kind of have to drive out a little ways to get to the beach. Growing up in California, I could have been 5 minutes and I could have had my toes in the sand, but it's a little bit different out here. You got to make a whole production of it, but it's worth it. And sooner or later, we're going to have some weather that's going to lend itself to some sand, toes in the sand, I hope.
Well, I won't tell you what it's like out here today in sunny and beautiful San Diego, California.
I bet it's nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous day, as it usually is out here. And as you know, growing up in California. But other than nature and your passion for writing, outside and running the kids around and dealing with them, what else do you do for fun, Laura? What else are you passionate about?
Well, you guys might find it interesting that I have actually drag raced my car. So this is one little thing that few people know about me, because I've actually written about the experience. But a couple years ago, I purchased my dream car. And hey, I turned 50 this year, so I'm allowed to drive my dream car now. And I got to learn how and finally take it down the drag strip last year. And so I plan on actually being at one of the car shows and doing that again this summer, believe it or not. I'm going to actually do it again.
Nice.
No, I'm a little bit crazy that way. I'm a little bit of a risk taker, I guess. That's another reason people look at me sideways. They're like, "You did what? What happened?" But I joke with people. I think I was, or definitely I was a race car driver in another life. You know, for sure I was.
Gotcha. How was the adrenaline rush in doing that?
Well, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe at heart I'm the adrenaline junkie, because it's funny you should ask about that, because as I'm, you know, putting the pedal to the metal in that moment, there was such a rush of adrenaline, and it actually was a little bit unexpected. Like, I was nervous, you know, because I had never done it before, kind of like today, you know, never run a podcast, got the little butterflies in your stomach. But man, once you are flying down that track at over 100 miles an hour, the adrenaline rush is real. Like, it's not a little butterfly nerves. It's like, oh wow, okay. And it took me a few minutes to catch my breath. And I'm just sitting there in the car, like I'm not doing much physical action there. But it was such a thrill, and I'm definitely going to try that again.
Yeah, years ago, I attended a driving school in Las Vegas, Nevada, and kind of an IndyCar type of thing. And the adrenaline rush that you get going around, and when you're going 100 miles an hour and having to figure out to turn around the track, and it's absolutely crazy, but it's absolutely thrilling at the same time. So I recommend it. It's
yeah, you get it.
as I'm sure you do. You got to do it, and go from there. Okay. That's something that most people don't know about you, the wild and crazy side of Laura DeFranco. That's pretty cool. Do you have a guilty indulgence, something that's just kind of a guilty indulgence?
Guilty indulgences. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe you're making me think a little bit about my my music habit, which how could that be a guilty indulgence, right? But I love to, you know, when I was young, like most people think of going to a rave like being a thing that you do in your 20s, and it was like in this underground basement, and there was all these crazy things happening. Nobody knew where it was. You had to kind of figure it out. It was like a secret. Well, I got introduced to this electronic dance music and the raving scene very late in life, and I am telling you, I guess guilty indulgence is my ticket purchase for raves at this point, because this, like no other thing I think in my life up until this point, fills me with this wonderful kind of joyful energy. And you know, and a lot of people understand that the vibration of music, it really is, you know, I don't always tie everything back to healing, but this is true healing. And so, and there is such thing as sound therapy at this point. So when you're listening to music and you're wrapped up in the vibe of not only the music, but the people around you and everybody enjoying that music, and there's a real sort of happy, hippie love vibe going on. It's a real thing. And oh my gosh, I am so guilty of doing that probably way more often than I should. I absolutely love it.
So there's two things about Laura, raver and drag racer.
Yeah,
so that's
crazy.
Pretty cool, Laura. That's pretty cool. What would you say is one thing that you do that might embarrass your kids?
Oh my gosh, one thing? How about everything?
Well, they are teenagers.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I don't know. You know, there's so many instances, and it's mostly my daughter versus my son. And maybe there's a thing with that, right? You know,
of course,
being the mom of a daughter, it's possibly the way I dress at a rave that might embarrass her. Yeah, you know. Well, you know, I'm gonna give her some kudos, because if it weren't for her, I would definitely not be dressed well, and my hair wouldn't look a certain way. And I'm telling you, the young women growing up right now have an awareness and a style and a presence about them, right? They are paying attention to that kind of stuff. I just don't remember doing that when I was her age. And so I love the way that she keeps me feeling and looking young. And, you know, if I'm wearing something that's embarrassing her, she will tell me.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. So that's awesome, Laura.